Welcome back, everybody, to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So, before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated, guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now, if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of setups, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into it, guys. On Apple stock, it's absolutely flat on the day, so it's been a struggle here for Apple stock to move up and close this gap. And finally, this gap fully closed right here. We hit 250 on Apple, and from there was an instant rejection, came down, and now you can see it's holding over this 5-day moving average 246. So that's going to be a key line in the sand for tomorrow's session, 246. If that gives up, it'll come down to 241, 50-day moving average, and below that 237. To the upside, resistance will be at 250. If we can get over that, you're going to see a push possibly up to previous all-time highs, which is at 260. On Microsoft, it's down 1.5%, and now it's going up. So this is actually a fantastic opportunity. People that are looking to go long, but end up chasing here at the top. So Microsoft, now you can see it's getting really oversold, almost getting closer to the lower Bollinger Band. Definitely a dip to buy. And I can repeat this once again. Definitely a dip to buy, but this is not a short-term swing trade or a day trade here. Unless you're a really good trader and you can get out, or you're going to set a nice stop loss like maybe 10-15%, then this might be your catching the falling knife type of trade, and you can take it. Otherwise, to go long on it, perfectly fine right here on Microsoft. Now you can see we actually broke a critical level, which is 400. And when I say long, it does not mean that Microsoft is bullish and that's why I'm going long. The price is cheaper and that's why it's better. You don't want to go long here. You don't want to go long here or at brand new all-time high. You need to buy low and sell high. That's what we do here in my channel. We don't go and chase anything at all-time highs on a massive breakout. So here on Microsoft, we broke a critical level. If we can get over that 400 level tomorrow, we might see 405, 410 to 413 to the upside. Now, if this thing cannot recapture 400, it might come down to 390, which is going to be even more cheaper and a better price to get in for long term. On Google, stock is down over 2%. So Google came down, just like we talked about it in my video, that there is a gap and we might see a gap full reversal. Now, you can see right here, we did not see that reversal happening immediately, but there is a gap on top now. Right here at almost 181, there is a gap at 204. So there is huge possibility at some point within a couple of weeks, we see a reversal here on a Google stock, and it happened before. It dropped on earnings and then recovered. I'm sure it's gonna go right back up, and people are just getting extremely bearish here in the market just because we dropped like 3-4%. Nothing big, guys. This is not a crash. Longer time frame. If you look at it, this is nothing. Just a pullback. Just a pullback. A decent pullback we're getting, which is actually an opportunity. Now, yes, there are some bad data out there. Inflation is on the rise. I get all that, but when we actually go and crash, we will see it in the price action. And I don't think this is the time that market is going to crash. Even if it's crashing, it's gonna take some time to play out. You'll see counter trend rallies. You can get out, and we will know by looking at it. Right now, it's not happening yet. Yes, we're getting a sell off, but it's not really aggressive. Just 2-3 days of selling. I mean, how many times we have seen market going up for like 9-10 days straight up and not giving anything. So 2-3 days of a pullback, or maybe even more than that, is totally fine. So here on Google stock, next critical support will be down here at 176 is holding, and now there will be resistance at 181. Gap full reversal to the downside can happen also here, and if this thing can get over this gap and holds the gap as a support, then watch out for a move up to 184. And I would be really bullish if this thing breaks over 184 in next few trading sessions right here on Google stock, and then we can talk about more upside, especially this massive gap on top. Now to the downside, 176 gives up, then there will be more downside, 174, 170, and maybe even this gap down here at some point 165. And here's my X account. And if you guys are on there, definitely give me a follow. And I'm not going to take too much of your time. Just going to share some trade ideas right here. Swing trade, LMT. This is where we got in. We added three times into that position, building a big position. And then finally, it's been going up for last 4 or 5 days. We took profit on half of the position and left the other half for more. Now, these are day trades right here. You can see Home Depot got in. I mean, who gets in at 9:31 a.m. right at opening, guys? And this thing paid big money win, way over the money. 390 calls. I mean, it got up to almost, I think, 400. Now, Triple Q, 10:30 a.m. You can see it was trading at 510. We took calls 2DT 522. This one also paid a lot of money today. So all these trade ideas, and especially if you're really serious about trading, you want to make money and you want to learn, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. And it's also here on my page, right on top, right here on X. On Tesla stock is down 8.39%. So this thing was down the most today, all the way down to under 300. And you can see 300 is a big support. I came right back up and now holding just over 300. So when people were buying calls and buying shares at the top, and I was saying that this is not the time to go long, and there were people saying, oh, it's going to 700, 1000, 1200. Well, you can see when things get overextended, it can come down rapidly. And Tesla is known for that. When things get overextended, it comes back. Unfortunately, usually I, had it before, but this time I did not play any long puts on Tesla, so I don't have any puts. I didn't do anything here on Tesla, especially shorting here at the top. And now, if you waited and you did not have the FOMO to go in, now you can buy Tesla at a cheaper price. And if you want to hold a longer, you can average into your position if this thing comes down a bit more. We got some unfinished business down here, these gaps, and it can come down. So you can see from almost 500 down to 300, almost 190 to $200 gone within just matter of couple weeks. And that's why when you see a massive move to the upside, just because it's going up, don't go and chase it. At least that's what I say in my video all the time. Wait for that pullback. You'll come down, you'll have your chance, and if you wait it, then you'll have a better opportunity of making money on a stock like Tesla. So now your key line in the sand 300 underneath that level, 280, and then the gap comes into play right here. To the upside, now Tesla will have resistance at 325 over that 330, and the 5-day moving average now sitting at 336. If we can get up here, then we can talk about maybe more upside in this downtrend now intact. So I mean, if this thing were to come back up, it might come back up to like 362 right here. We'll see how that goes. That's a long shot here from here, but Tesla can also go back up like the way this thing came down. So, this is not something I would short here. And I see a lot of people still buying Tesla puts. Be careful shorting into the hole right here, because if this thing, gets some news or maybe something out of Elon, it can go right back up to 500. And if you're shorting into the hole, you're going to lose a lot of money here on Tesla. On AMD, it's down near 4%. So we talked about it in my video before that AMD, there is a bear flag. I think we talked about it right here over the weekend. I think it was Sunday that this thing is out of the bear flag. And look at the continuation today, all the way down to new low. So now what I would say here on AMD, the next big support will be at 100 and then down here at 93. So AMD definitely not looking good, but if you're somebody like me looking to go long, it's even cheaper and perfect right here. I mean, that is a big discount. What was it? 52-week high, 227. Now you're getting it for almost like 100 here. Huge discount right here on AMD, guys. More than 50%. So AMD getting a bit oversold. Maybe AMD puts in a bottom here at some point right here. And if this thing bounces back up, there will be resistance at 106, 110, and then we can talk about any upside on AMD. Until then, just watch this thing and the next support at 100 and then $93. On Meta, it's down 1.59%. So look at this, guys. And that's why you need these levels picture perfect almost right here. I mean, $1, $2 on Meta is nothing. So you cannot ask for any better trade than this. Unfortunately, I did not trade this today, but it was right there because once I make my money in the market, I don't really, go back and forth like some people. They trade all day, just back and forth. These are called over trading, and then whatever money they make, they lose it back to the market. So it's just a bad way to put it. You don't go back and forth just because there is so many opportunities and you think you're gonna make more and more. Don't get me wrong, you can get lucky one day or 2 day, but that one day you're gonna get unlucky, you're gonna lose it all, and then you'll be out on the street, and you don't wanna be that person, doing that. So why? Well, 638 previous all-time highs, right? Look at what happened here. 641 low for the day. We are really close to it, and then boom, look at the bounce here, guys. That is a almost $20, $18, $20 bounce back up to the upside. And now it's trading just under 664, and I think we held a support here also, 50-day moving average 648. Two things: previous all-time highs acting as a support, way oversold, trading under lower Bollinger Band and the 50 SMA. What happened? Instant bounce. So if you caught this trade right here, especially if you look at the Bollinger Band and if you look at this previous all-time highs, perfect game plan right here for a move back up to the upside. All you have to do, maybe put a stop loss right here at I would say 635, maybe 636, and just ride this thing back up. Nice, easy day trade and get out. Now, going into tomorrow's session, 648, your line in the sand, and then 638. To the upside, resistance will be at 664. If we can clear that, then you're going to see a move up to 682 on Meta. On Amazon stock is absolutely flat on the day. So Amazon, we took some calls last week and it went underwater. Today, oh my God, unbelievable, guys. I mean, what money can do if you can buy it at the right time, even a bad trade can become a better trade, or possibly you get out at break even with no loss. Some cases you get out with money. And I think I'm going to get out with some money here on Amazon because look at the dip line here and look at the size of this candle and the lower wick here, guys. So we added here at 206 today, doubling down on that position. What happened at the end? Well, massive rally. You can see from these lows, we went back up and now trading near 214 almost. So if this thing bounces back up, it's been selling up for past couple days. It can get a relief rally. If this thing goes back up to like 217, 220, I think I'm gonna get out with some profit and maybe even more profit if this thing clears, especially 220 here. So Amazon, this was a fantastic opportunity. I think in the short term, we're going to see price moving higher, at least a relief rally. And then if this thing can hold that, then you're going to see more continuation to the upside because it's getting really oversold. And look at what happened. You cannot ignore why I actually added into my position, because if you look at the smaller time frame, a lot of volume and call flows were coming in here on Amazon, and that's why I added. And look at the volume here on the daily chart right here. Huge, right? So now Amazon, there will be resistant at 216. If we can clear that, definitely heading up to 220 plus. Now to the downside, if this thing does not hold here, if you look at my screen, that's going to be at 207 to 208. Underneath that level, you're going to see Amazon coming down a bit more, possibly down to flat 200. So Netflix also went down over 1%, and you can see this thing came down to lower Bollinger Band. That is another perfect setup here. Off of this Bollinger Band, went back up and now trading under 1,000. So it's down. It's been going down for last few days. I think it's going to catch a breather before coming down and closing this gap right here at 916. Now, tomorrow, if this thing comes back again, there will be support at 954, 936, and then the gap right down here at 916.40. To the upside, there will be resistance at 1000. If we can clear that, then we can talk about possibly going back up to the upside, but I don't think that's the case. I think we will see a rally, but I don't want to talk about hitting a brand new all-time high. I don't think that's going to happen, but we will see some sort of a counter trend rally, at least back up to 1000. If you want to catch that, definitely be ready. If this thing holds right here somewhere, this would be a perfect buying opportunity, just like on Meta. This is pretty much a similar setup here on Netflix, but not ready yet. Perfectly. I would say give it until a 936. That would be a perfect entry to play this back up to the upside. And definitely, if you're buying something like this thing costs money. So you got to put a tight stop loss and you got to buy a smaller amount because this thing costs a lot of money. The call options are not cheap on Netflix. Even puts, are also expensive. So be careful if you're trading this. And this could be a nice setup, just like Meta. And you got to have the chart in front of you when you're buying, and you got to play according to the chart, not just going blindly. On Nvidia stock is down again over 2% and right down to the support 126, like picture perfect. And you guys saw that, I had this rising wedge here and how I warned you that, earnings are coming and this thing, my expected move was right here to close this gap from deep sea gap down. We got out and since then, because of earnings, I'm not even shorting this thing, even though I had the chance to short it right here. And Nvidia falling since then, right? Now we do have the biggest earnings of all time tomorrow night, Wednesday from Nvidia, guys, and that is gonna be a market moving event if if this stock actually makes a move to the upside or to the downside. If this thing is flat, a lot of people, including whales, are gonna be pissed off if this thing is not moving tomorrow. So watch out. Now, Nvidia for tomorrow, I don't want to make any big predictions, but I think they will beat depending on how things play out and how the guidance actually will come out tomorrow from Jensen, right? So Nvidia 126, your key line in the sand. Underneath that level, flush down to 118, 107, maybe even 96. We get a dip after earnings. That would be fantastic, right? Who doesn't like dips on Nvidia? But I'm already in something else, not buying Nvidia, and I bought that dip, and I think that one has a better chance of going up even if this thing drops going into earnings. Now, to the upside, and we did go up today, and then this thing finished the day in the red. 130 will be resistant. If we can clear that tomorrow, we might see a move up to 136. But the action begins tomorrow. I see a lot of chop tomorrow, and there might be a bigger expected move as well. I'm going to post that in my Discord. So if you're one of those members, you're gonna see that and I think you will see a lot of chop tomorrow. Anticipation of this earnings, and then you're going to see, a directional move. Like I said, if this thing makes a move, otherwise, if this thing is flat, including myself, I like to see market moving, up or down. I don't care. As long as the market moving, I can make money. If things are flat, like last few, days, last week, it was just going sideways, really slow melt up. It's really hard to make money. When things are moving, I can make money. Up or down does not matter. So Nvidia moves, people are going to make money, people are going to be happy. But if this thing stays flat, a lot of people are going to lose money. So be careful and stay away from playing earnings. That's my own personal opinion. I don't like playing earnings. That's a gamble. Unless you're forced to play it, that's a different thing. And just stay away, and then we can play this thing after earnings. And I'll definitely keep you guys updated, and please don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're new here, also don't forget to subscribe to my channel.